Yeah, you went into a great big long questionnaire before I started. Yeah, there's no harm doing a recap on the subject I'm going to do.
Yeah.
But listen to the word picture. I'm trained.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The questions you were asking me were, what mirrors are you going to check?
Mm-hmm.
Where are you going to look? What would be better questions to ask? Identification?
Yeah.
Yeah? Open
Yeah,
and closed?
Yeah. I mean, the identification I had in my mind the minute we set off, so how do you identify? Yeah, I could have asked that in a brief, yeah.
Yeah, well, it wasn't a brief, it was just a recap, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gone into, you were practically gone through the whole
Yeah.
MSPSL routine, yeah?
Yeah.
What mirrors would I check? When would I indicate? What position would I take, yeah?
Identification open and closed, yeah.
Yeah, then we came down the road about 10 minutes ago where I don't know if it was a driving instructor or a learner driver in the silver Corsa.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what, doing the reverse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if I'm on my driving test, what would I be expected to do there?
Deal with it.
Yeah, and what would how would I be expected to deal with it?
Safely stop, hold back.
Yeah, so you asked, would the examiner make an error there?
Yeah, it suddenly crossed my mind, you know, oh, it's something that's not a, if you like, prescribed fault whereby
Well, it is.
Well, yeah, okay, maybe it was a silly question, but at the time I'm thinking, okay, it's going to be about position, or it's going to be about approach speed, or it's going to be about use of mirrors, it's going to be about looking, and, you know, it's kind of like, I suppose that fits in the box of any other occurrences that emerging, you know.
Yeah, so if I'd been a real learner and one of your
Yep.
pupils,
I'd jump straight in. Jump straight in, say, oh, we've got a pupil doing a reverse around the corner here.
yeah, but did you need, you know, with somebody who's got a test coming up in 3 weeks' time, did you need to say we've got somebody reversing around the corner here?
No, you see how he deals with it.
Yeah, that's what you should have done, was watch how
Right, okay.
I would have dealt with it, yeah?
Yeah. No, it just threw me a bit of a curveball. I thought, oh, what do I do here? Yeah, okay, no.
Yeah, obviously if I was heading down to try and get past them while they were that close to the corner,
Yeah,
that's your chance to jump in, isn't it?
yeah.
But an examiner on a driving test is not going to jump in and say, have you seen that car reverse around the corner? I think you better hold back here, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what's your level of instruction, yeah? Examiners don't give this information away to the pupils, yeah?
No.
Yeah, they're meant to be able to deal with these things on their own. Yeah, an examiner on a driving test will take action if the pupil's going to do something dangerous, i.e. if they've got dual controls, they use them, or even if it comes to, they'll use the handbrake if they have to, yeah?
Yep.
Or they'll take steering action to avoid the collision. They shouldn't have to if the pupil's ready for test, but it does happen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but you got to watch me a lot closer, yeah?
Okay.
You know, make sure, kind of make sure that what you're doing is actually getting inside my head, not actually telling me what to do, yeah?
Yeah, I understand your thought process rather than just...
Yeah, because otherwise it's... that's not going to help.
Occasionally you come back... as a phase 2 people, I've noticed you come back with, oh, I just know it now. You know, if I say, well, what reference point are you using for making this turn or lining up, you just come back and say, oh, I've been doing it long enough now and I just know.
Yeah, well, if I've been learning to drive for 8 months...
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't understand why you're asking me about reference points for not cutting the corner anyway. We're doing a merger when we're doing right and left hand turns, yeah? Yeah, if I've been learning to drive for 7-8 months, I mean, do you use reference points?
No.
How do you know where to stop them?
Just know.
How?
How? Experience.
But you've just given the same answer I've given, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I've been driving 34 years, but yeah. But I'll take your point.
Yeah, it's
Well, I was never actually given any reference points in the first place.
Sorry?
34 years ago. It was just get out there and drive. But you know,
well,
so you wouldn't expect a pupil who's been learning to drive for 8 months to remember the reference points that they use. I mean, if that's the way they play it, then.
well, it'd be back me down into a corner.
Well, that's why I said, do you remember the reference point you were given when you first started to learn? Because at some point you would have been given a reference point.
But I did give you a reasonably correct answer, didn't I?
Well, I just know where it is.
Yeah, I just know how to judge it. But if I get it wrong, there's no good coming back and saying to me, hang on a minute, you told me you know how to judge it.
Absolutely. That's why I'm trying to preempt it by getting them to, oh yeah, I was given a reference point. So they won't play with it. So will you just jump in and demonstrate it and go back to basics at that point? So when you straddle the red, you straddled the white line on the right turn.
I didn't straddle it. Oh, you mean the left of centre line?
Yeah. Yeah, you went over it. We were far too far to the right.
Yeah, I was there for quite a long time, though, wasn't I?
Yeah. We were talking about something else on the approach, and you put the error in, which okay, fair enough. I identified it, and that was when I was going to pull you up on this crossroads because I knew you'd get it right there. So I've got to take you back to the next emerge and do a corrective at the next emerge.
Yeah, I could see what you're trying to do at the crossroads.
Yeah.
But you didn't need to stop me because with the format of part 3 the way it is, I'm not allowed to make an error on the crossroads.
Yeah, I know.
All you needed to do was sit back, let me approach the crossroads. We were turning right. There's your perfect opportunity to make the link, isn't it?
Yeah. But the danger of me not stopping you there was you then say, oh, you've run a very nice right turning position at this crossroads. How do you judge it? You could easily come back to me and say, well, I just know because through experience, which hasn't really handed me anything I can throw back to you for the next right emerge. That was what I was thinking. But I thought by stopping you and making you say, yeah, this position is going to be spot on, but we're now 3 line markings back. So where does that cut through?
Yeah, at a crossroads, I have got a line opposite as well, haven't I?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I can understand if you're talking about an emerge.
Okay. But you see what I was trying to do there?
Yeah, kind of, but with a crossroads, I did have the line opposite as well, didn't I?
Yeah. No, okay, fair enough.
Yeah?
Yeah. So I could just, if that line projected through, where would it come through? Oh, it would come through in that bottom right-hand corner. Right, so that's how I want you to approach the next right emerge if we're turning right.
That's still not going to work.
Okay, so what is going to work? Me actually physically doing it with the map of the emerge?
No, you haven't taken it far enough. You haven't found out, do I know the reasons why?
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Do you know the reasons why? Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't actually, jump over this. Remember what we done earlier on about the clearance?
Yes, yeah.
There was no remedial action.
Yeah.
It's not a guessing game, is it?
No.
You've got to find out.
Yeah.
If I was a real learner, I could have just fluked that position, couldn't I?
Yep.
Yeah, find out that I know the reasons why, yeah? If I'm too far over that left centre line and the fire engine comes around the corner, the road's blocked, isn't it?
Yep.
If I'm too far to the left, there's a vehicle behind me, they're going to think I've left me right an indicator on, overtake me, and as I make the right hand turn, they're going to hit me.
Yep.
Then you know that I know the reason why.
Yep.
Then it's your chance then to say, well, it's exactly the same at an emerge.
Okay.
And then on approach the next emerge, all you do is give me a prompt, isn't it?
So the consequences come in before the remedial action.
Yes, what's the prompt you're going to give me on the next emerging? Is how you're going to judge your position.
Yep. Okay.
And as the link's being made, I'll play along with you.
Okay. Can we just go around and do that at this crossroads then?
Well, you want me to put the same mirror in again?
Yeah.
Michael, are you trusting me that there is nobody coming up behind me?
No, but I was looking for you to look in your mirror. Then I was going to look. I was watching you to see if you were going to check your mirror.
And turning right.
And turning right, please.
Yeah, don't forget, I'm not going to kill you, but
yeah,
one of your real learners will. Giving out the chance.
But you hadn't looked in your right mirror by that point. Okay, so we've got an emerge coming up.
And we're going to turn right at the emerge that you told me is coming up here.
And we're going to turn right at the next turning. So where are you going to position the vehicle, Tony?
Left to centre.
Just left to centre. So just steer to left to centre. Steer 5 minutes towards me. 10 minutes back. Straighten up. No. Okay, we're not quite left to centre there, are we? So you understand?
Want to carry on?
Yeah, carry on. Do you understand why it's important to be left to centre at the right emerge, Tony?
Oh yeah, if I'm over the white line, I could be blocking the road, couldn't I?
You could be blocking the road. If you're too far to the right, what could happen if a fire engine appeared?
Said I'd be blocking the road.
Yeah. And what about if you're too far to the left but you're turning right?
Confusing people.
Yeah. And what could happen there?
Well, one thing, I'm turning left and just put the wrong indicator on.
Might put the wrong indicator on. What would happen if someone tried to overtake you when you're trying to turn right?
We'd hit each other, wouldn't we?
You'd hit each other.
And we're going to turn right.
And we're going to turn right. So I just want you to come to a stop at the give way line here, please, Tony, before we turn. Okay, right, so I'm just going to hold you here for a second. We've got no one behind us. Can you see that? The hazard lines that come through the road opposite us? If you were to project those through the front of the car?
Yeah, that's where I normally get it.
Yeah, okay. So that would keep you left of centre, wouldn't it? Which would mean we wouldn't be too far over to the right, so we wouldn't have to worry about blocking the any fire engines coming down around the corner. It would also mean we're not too far over to the left, so nobody would try and overtake you. So if you can use that reference point when you next approach a right emerge, and that should put you just...
If that would be me as partly trained, or phase one, that would have been great, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would have been.
Yeah, because you just give me all the information, didn't you?
Okay, so if you project that hazard line through the front of the car, where does it cut through, Tony?
Tony.
Yeah, but how do you... Okay, sorry, no. How did you judge
Right,
it?
if you just slow down,
yeah.
Just let me help you.
Okay.
Yeah, you've done the right thing in telling me that you're holding me here for a second, and the reason why. Yeah, Tony, where does... why have you taken this position that you're taking in the road, left to centre?
So why have you taken this position in the road left to centre, Tony? It's a good position, by the way.
Well, if I go too far to the right, I'm blocking the road. If I'm too far to the left, I'll be confusing people.
Okay, and what are the dangers of those situations?
I'm blocking the road.
If you're too far to the right, what's the dangers that might creep in there?
Well, people won't be able to get around the corner.
Okay, and if you're too far to the left, what's the dangers of that?
Well, people might think I've just put the wrong indicator on, and they might think I'm turning left and overtake me, and as I've got to turn right, I'm going to hit them.
Yep, okay, so that's why it's important that we take up the correct position turning right at a merge or a crossroads. So how are you going to judge to take up the right position at the next right emerge?
Is it the same?
Yeah, just...
Oh, well, use the reference point.
Use the reference point. Excellent. So let's proceed.
End of the road left.
End of the road, turn left, please, Tony. So just slow down. 5 miles an hour, please, and stop, 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 stop. Okay. Is that a closed or an open junction, Tony? Can you see?
I can see cars.
Yeah. Couldn't really see, could we? So, came up that junction far too fast. Should have been coming up at walking speed, preparing to stop at the line without overshooting the line. Can you see where that line cuts in through the side of the car there, Tony?
Yeah, that's what I done.
Okay, that's where we need to be stopping. Okay, so after you've taken your observations, we'll proceed. Why is it important not to overshoot that line, Tony?
No, I didn't, did I?
You didn't overshoot it, but you came up to the junction far too fast, which could result in you overshooting the line. So that was a closed junction, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So could you see around it?
I think it was good seeing cars coming.
Yeah. What about
buses.
bikes? What about bikes? What about pedestrians? What about mopeds? Would you have seen that?
No.
So a biker come down there with no lights on, a guy wearing all black. Would you have seen him? So what might have happened if you'd have overshot that line then? Come out of that junction
Probably
too
hit them,
fast?
wouldn't they?
You probably hit them. Probably killed them. Okay.
So what was that, kind of a sprint?
Sorry, beg your pardon?
Was that kind of a sprint I was coming up at?
You were coming up at a sprint speed. We want to come up at a walking speed, something close to 5 miles an hour.
Turning.
And turning left, so we've got to merge here. So what speed are you going to go onto this junction, Tony?
Walking speed?
Yeah, about walking speed. Okay, where are you going to stop? Okay.
I could have gone there because
You could have gone. You could have gone. Just wanted to make sure you knew where to stop properly. Okay. So could you see into that junction before we arrived at it?
At that speed, yeah, I could do.
You could at that speed.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, so the problem wasn't where it stopped, was it?
It wasn't where it stopped.
It was the speed.
It was the speed was too fast.
Turning left.
And turning left, please, Tony.
Yeah, you done well to stop me.
I should have controlled the speed a bit earlier.
No, that's fine. Obviously, got to make sure you don't come in too early, innit?
Yeah.
No, you stopped me nicely.
Okay.
You can even use the duals, providing you don't use them aggressively.
Yep.
And turning left.
And turning left, please, Tony.
But if you use the duals, what do you have to do afterwards?
Explain why. Tell them you've used them and explain why.
And then try and find out for me how I'm going to stop. How I'm going to not put you in that position again.
Okay. So yeah, we see my views. So I had to dual control you there, Tony. We came up that junction way too fast, and I used the brake to slow us down. So, how are you going to control your speed in future as we approach these emergency situations? So we're approaching a closed junction emerge.
And turning left.
At what speed are you going to use here? Turning left, please, Tony.
Walking pace.
Walking pace. Can you see around that junction?
No.
So are you going to prepare to
Don't know
stop?
what he's going to do here.
Don't know what he's going to do. So we're looking. So we're too far out from the curve here.
Am I?
Yeah, too far out. The dangers of that, what do you think they might be?
Well, I suppose the car could if
try.
it was turning right here, we might indicator on.
Might think you indicated incorrectly and might
Yeah.
squeeze up the inside. What else might happen? Who else might appear in that gap? Apart from a car. Bit tight for a car, who else might appear there?
Oh, bike.
Bicycle? Yeah. Anybody else might appear there?
Small car.
Moped?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to steer to the shape of the corner on the next junction, so we have an appropriate gap between us and the curb. So look in the direction we're going. That's it. Good. So explain to me again why it's important that we don't leave too big a gap there on the left turning emerge.
Okay, somebody comes down the inside of me.
If somebody comes down, what might happen if somebody...
I hadn't finished answering yet.
So, beg your pardon?
And people behind me will get confused. They might just think I've put the wrong indicator on. And turning right.
And turning right, please, Tony. And if they're confused, what might happen as a result of that? If they were to try and squeeze down that gap?
Probably hit each other.
Yeah, probably you could have an accident. So, can I use the reference point now? So where the curb cuts in? No.
How's that going to help?
Well, I've got to get you to steer close enough to that curb. Okay, so I'm going to try and help you on the next left emerge to get the correct road positioning for turning left.
Alright. Roundabout left.
And we're going to turn left at the roundabout.
Turning left.
And we're going to turn left here. So where are you going to start steering, Tony?
On the same place as did at the roundabout.
Okay. So how did you judge where to steer at the roundabout?
I'll follow the curb around the corner of that window.
Follow the curb around in the corner of the window, and that kept you. Where did that keep you on the road? What distance did that keep you from the curb?
Far enough away so I didn't mount the curb.
Yep. Why would that be dangerous if you mounted the curb?
I could damage your alloys.
Could damage my alloys. Could damage. What else could you damage?
Pedestrians.
Pedestrians. Absolutely. So you use the reference point for
I suppose it wouldn't be too good if I went too wide either, would it?
It wouldn't be too good. So again, you use that reference point. So what would it have been bad if you'd have been too wide?
I could have ended up in the middle of the road, couldn't I?
Yeah.
Hit a car head on something.
Hit a car head.
Motorbike or a lorry.
So I want you to use that reference point for your left turning emerges.
Did you not see me use it at the roundabout?
Yeah, I did. What threw me was the roundabout. I didn't know whether you were treating that as a roundabout or an emerge.
Turning left.
And turning left, please. Because you would take the roundabout out there, it's just a left emerge, so I wasn't entirely sure as to whether you were going to make the error or not.
Did I?
Make the error at the
Yeah.
roundabout? No.
There's your chance to jump in, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's not quite as complicated as you're making it out to be.
Yeah, it was only because there was a row of houses in front of us, and okay, there was a painted roundabout on the road, but I was just thinking, is this going to be treated as an emerge or a
Let's just say
roundabout?
I stopped over the giveaway line, yeah?
So
Let's just say I stopped over the line
Yeah.
at the giveaway line and the merge, yeah?
yeah,
And I came up to that roundabout
yeah,
and I had to
Didn't
give
do
way
it.
at the roundabout.
yeah,
Could you have made any link there?
yeah,
With the giveaway
yeah,
line?
Yeah.
What link could you have made? Turning right.
How did you pick the reference point to do it? Where did you stop? Why is it important? Treat it exactly the same as the next emerge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop on the left.
Now just stop on the left hand.
Yeah, don't overcomplicate it.
Yeah.
Um,
I sometimes feel like I'm trying to borrow bits where I know you're going to get it right, and you won't let me. And then, like there, I'm going to borrow that bit and say, right, you've just done that really nicely at that roundabout. We're going to do exactly the same way at the next left
hang on,
emerge.
what do you mean I'm stopping you?
Well, I tried to borrow some reference points earlier on. And you said, oh, you can't borrow them now.
Go on, give me an example.
Well, okay, I did it on the crossroads, and then you said, well, no, take you up to the crossroads, because I knew you were going to position yourself correctly, so I was going to stop you 3 lines back and say, so as we come up to this crossroads, how are you going to judge where to be?
Yeah, just wind yourself back there.
Yeah.
You knew I was going to get positioned right at the crossroads.